If you've recently lost a woman, there's something you need to understand so you can flip the script and make sure this never happens to you again. A woman will only suddenly fear losing you and even start obsessively thinking about you under one condition. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what that is. But first, let's get one thing straight. Breakups are probably the worst pain a man will ever go through. But they can also be the best thing that ever happened to you, even though it definitely doesn't feel like it at the time. But the truth is, it's only through this depth of pain that a man is introduced to himself and discovers who he truly is. And the knowledge I'm going to share with you in this video has helped me to not only overcome a devastating breakup to a woman that I was with for almost 10 years and at one point thought I was going to marry, but also completely rebuild myself from the ground up, transition out of being a therapist for nearly a decade, generate over $1 million of revenue in 1 year as a business growth consultant, and then launch and build a coaching business helping men overcome breakups, combining my knowledge, expertise, and experience as a former therapist, dating coach, and mindset coach for men, and live a life fully aligned with my purpose, as well as help countless men do the same. So if you're a man who recently went through a breakup, you're gonna wanna watch till the end of this video. If you do, you're gonna learn why you lost her in the first place, the one condition that makes a woman fear losing you, and how to make sure this never happens to you again. So let's get into it. Let's talk about why you lost her in the first place. Ultimately, the fact is she came to the conclusion that you are not her best option. But why did this happen? Well, for a number of reasons. One, you got too comfortable in the relationship and stopped doing the things that made her attracted to you in the first place. And look, we're all guilty of this at some point as men. That's the only reason I know this stuff, because I've made all these mistakes myself. But I want you to think back to who you were in the beginning when you first met her, right? What version of you were you at that time? Were you actively working on yourself and improving yourself? Were you going to the gym? Were you working on different interests and hobbies? And did you have passions you were engaged in? Did you have a social circle of other guys and possibly girls that you were connecting with, right? Now, how much has that changed over time in the relationship? Usually what happens is, as we get too comfortable in the relationship, it dulls our masculine edge and we stop actually focusing on improving ourselves. We stop being that version of ourselves that was that attractive man that she was drawn to in the first place, right? You lose your focus on your goals and your ambition and your purpose in life. And you start to make the woman too much of your focus and your purpose. And we'll talk about that more a little bit later as well. But the point is you stop doing all of the things that you did in the beginning that were making her attracted to you. It's because you got too comfortable. And as men, when we get too comfortable in the relationship, that's when we stop being the person that she is attracted to, and as a result, she starts to lose attraction and respect for us and starts to feel like she settled for mediocrity and that we're not the man that she thought we were, that she was originally attracted to. And as that happens and you lose your edge more and more and you lose sight of your goals and your ambition and your purpose, she starts to feel like she was duped. She starts to feel like, this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't the guy that I was attracted to. This is a totally different guy. And then she starts to feel like she's settling for mediocrity and that you're no longer her best option. Because when she first met you, there was a certain way that you were carrying yourself. There was a certain way that you were acting even towards her. There was a certain way you were showing up as a man. And now you're not that same person anymore. So ultimately, that's going to cause her to lose attraction and respect and feel like she was deceived. And then now, oh, I've settled for mediocrity. This isn't what I really want. He's no longer my best option. And it's not just about like your goals, ambition, and purpose, right? Because you could be financially successful. You could be on your shit in terms of your career or business or whatever have you in that realm. But it's not about that. It's about your masculine energy. She doesn't feel that from you, that edge. You've lost that. It's been dulled. And you're not showing up as that attractive man anymore that she thought she signed up for. So hopefully that makes sense. And this happens kind of undercover without you even knowing it. Because the more time you spend with your woman, you'll find yourself kind of unconsciously taking on a lot of her characteristics. A lot of that feminine energy kind of rubs off on you. Also, women are amazing to be around, right? So it's, of course, we love being around our woman because that soft, like juicy feminine energy is like so amazing. It's like our fucking food. And so we just want more of it and more of it. But what we don't realize is on an unconscious level, it actually rubs off on us, and we actually become more and more feminine when we spend too much time with our woman. We lose our masculine edge, because usually when we're hanging out with our woman, we're not focused on our goals. We're not focused on our purpose. We're not living at our edge. We're more in a comfort zone, right? We're feeling really comfortable when we're spending time with our women. And that's good. That's fine. There's a place for that, and there's value to that. I'm not saying you shouldn't spend a good amount of time with your woman, but you cannot spend too much time with her. You need space apart to be able to continue to sharpen your sword and your masculine energy. And you also need to be able to have space from her so that you can maintain the attraction, because the more time that you spend with her, the more she's like, comfort kills attraction. There's like this balance of comfort versus attraction. There can be a lot of attraction, and that means there's probably not that much comfort. The more comfort there is, the less attraction there will be. So you have to kind of make sure there's always kind of a balance of the two. You need both, but you don't want too much comfort, because it will kill the attraction. And when you spend too much time with your woman, it creates too much comfort. She starts taking you for granted. It kills the attraction, and you completely lose touch with your masculine energy. Plus, it doesn't give her the opportunity to miss you. You need space in a relationship. She needs to feel like your time is really valuable. And when you're spending all of your time with her, she starts to, again, take it for granted and feel like your time isn't that valuable, which by nature of that, if you follow that to its conclusion, it means that you're not that valuable as a man. You're not a very high value man. Your time, because a really high value man wouldn't have the time to spend with her like that. She'd be trying to like compete for his time. She'd be like feeling like she's not getting enough of his time. That's what you want. You want the woman to be like, why don't you spend enough time? You don't spend enough time with me. And then they'll make that into an issue. But in reality, that's what keeps their pussy wet. It's what keeps them attracted to you, right? Because they feel like your time's valuable. They want more of it. That's what you fucking want. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Another reason is that you stopped leading and became too dependent on her to make decisions. And again, this is tied into losing touch and disconnecting from your masculine energy, right? Because we as men are leaders, and women expect us to be leaders, and that's what makes them attracted to us, because we take charge, we take the lead, we make shit happen. They do not want to feel like they have to lead. So when you stop leading, when you stop taking initiative and become overly dependent on her to make the decisions, then she's going to resent you for that. And she's going to lose attraction and respect for you, because she's looking to you to be the leader. And ultimately, she does not want to have to compensate for that lack of leadership and masculine energy. That makes her more masculine. She doesn't want to be in her masculine. When she is in her masculine, she's going to resent you for it. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well. And then the last reason that we're going to talk about in this video anyway is that you lost your frame and started seeking her approval and validation. And you became needy and overly invested and focused on the relationship. And as a result of that, you didn't hold or assert clear and firm boundaries when she disrespected you. This is what happens, right? As you start to seek approval or validation from a woman, she's going to feel like her value is higher than yours, because you're putting her on a pedestal, and that feels like neediness to her, right? It feels like neediness when you need her approval and validation. It should never be like that. The woman should always be seeking your approval and validation. When you're seeking her approval and validation, you're in the feminine and she's in the masculine. If you want her in the feminine, she has to be seeking your approval and validation. What happens when you're seeking her approval and validation is you start to not have your masculine frame. And when you don't have, and you're not able to hold your masculine frame, then you're not able to assert and hold clear and firm boundaries with her when she disrespects you. And the more this happens, the more you start to seek her approval and validation, combined with everything we've already talked about, the more she's going to start acting out. She's going to start acting out, acting a fool, disrespecting you to test you, to see, are you going to hold a boundary? Are you going to be a man? Do you have backbone, or are you going to let her just walk all over you? Because if you're seeking her approval and validation, that means you're afraid to lose her. You're afraid to offend her. You don't want to ruffle her feathers. You don't want to cause conflict, right? You don't want to be confrontational. And as a result, she's going to lose more and more respect, more and more attraction, and she's going to act more and more masculine. She's going to become more critical, more naggy, and she's going to start all kinds of drama. All of this is an attempt to test you to see, are you going to fucking step up and be a man, put your foot down and hold a boundary, right? And ultimately, when you're in this kind of mindset where you're seeking her approval and validation and you're overly focused on her and on the relationship, you're overly invested and focused on that, then you lose that ability, right? Because you're afraid of losing her and you don't even understand your own worth and your own value, and you become a people pleaser. And as a result of that, you don't hold boundaries. You're not able to hold clear and firm boundaries, and you're not willing to walk away. So hopefully all this is tracking. Hopefully all this is resonating and you're making sense of it, because I guarantee you that it was either all of these reasons or one or a few of them combined is why you lost her in the first place. And by the way, if you are resonating with this video so far and you're having trouble moving on, healing, and rebuilding after a breakup, I created a free guide to help you completely get over your ex, so you can move on, take your power back, and start becoming the man she regrets losing. So if you want access to that, just click the first link in the description. All right, so now that we've covered why you lost her, let's talk about the one condition that makes her fear losing you. And it's simple. It's when your energy shifts from please choose me to I'm totally fine losing you, because I'm good with you and good without you. I want you, but I don't need you. See, that totally flips the script, because what that means is you stop trying to please her because you're not seeking her approval, and you're not overly focused on her and on the relationship. You're focused on yourself and your goals and your purpose, and you're grounded in your masculine energy. And you get validation from within yourself, so you don't need it from her. And as a result, she's not able to manipulate you anymore. So if she starts acting out of pocket, you're gonna actually hold some boundaries because you're not afraid of losing her. And she's gonna know that you're willing to walk away. But the key here is that it can't just be words. You have to follow through. You have to actually be willing to lose her for real. That's the ironic part, is that in order to keep her, you have to be willing to lose her. Okay, so let's talk about how to make sure this never happens to you again. And basically, it's by doing the opposite of the 4 things we talked about that led to the breakup in the first place. But it's more than that. It's by becoming the kind of man that any woman would fear losing. And there's a lot of levels to that. But the first step is taking 100% responsibility for what you did that led to the breakup, and deciding right now to take extreme ownership for everything in your life. Because if you don't take responsibility for it, then you can't change it. Responsible literally means able to respond. So if you don't take responsibility, then you're not able to respond. And part of taking responsibility for it means taking responsibility to heal from it, which means doing the deep inner work to heal the wounds from the relationship and let go of the past, so you can truly find your self-worth and stop seeking it from anything outside yourself and using a woman as a band-aid to cover up your pain. This part is crucial. You have to heal and let go of the past. Otherwise, you will continue to repeat the same patterns over and over and over. If you want me to make a video about how to do that, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to make that for you. And then the next step, after you've done some deep healing and let go of the past, is you have to build unshakable core confidence. So you have to do the things that allow you to build core confidence. And the way you do that is by keeping the promises you make to yourself. So if you say you're gonna do something, then you have to do it. And also equally, if not even more important, if you say you're not gonna do something, then don't do it. Because often these are the things that lead us the most to the worst self-sabotage. And this could be anything. It could be you say you're not gonna eat something, or you say you're not gonna engage in some vice you may have, whether that's watching porn or drinking or whatever it is, whatever it may be for you. If you say you're not gonna do it, then you can't do it. Do not do it. You gotta keep that promise that you made to yourself that you were not going to do that, because that's how you build self-trust. And ultimately, that's all confidence is, the ability to trust yourself. All of this is gonna help to start to rewire your nervous system and your subconscious mind. And then you have to create a clear vision for your life. You have to get crystal clear on both exactly what it is you want and who you have to become to get it. So what type of man would you have to be to get those things and create that reality? What are the traits, mindsets, habits, beliefs that that version of you has, who's already in that reality? And you need to be as specific as possible with all of this. And part of that is getting clarity on your purpose, because a man needs purpose and direction. That's what grounds you in your masculine energy. That's what guides you and gives you strength and power. And without purpose and direction, you will feel lost. And you have to write all this down. You have to get that vision out of your head and onto paper. And once you have clarity on all that, and you have a clear vision for your ideal life and the ideal version of yourself as a man that you would need to become to create that life, then all you need to do is step into alignment with that vision, which means stepping into alignment with that version of yourself and that reality, and taking aligned action every day to become that version of yourself and create that reality. Because I promise you, that version of you isn't afraid of losing a woman, because he has options and he has an abundance mentality when it comes to women and everything else. And if you really become that version of you, then this will never happen again, because you'll have unshakable core confidence that comes from within, and you'll always hold a strong masculine frame in any relationship you're in. And that woman will be afraid of losing you, not the other way around. Now, obviously, there's quite a bit that goes into this process that goes beyond the scope of what I can cover in this video. And this is exactly what I help my clients with. Really, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And I want to help you guys more. So if you're at a point where you want some more help, let's jump on a free strategy call and I can help you with a specific problem. And if it feels like a good fit, let's work together. And if not, no problem. You'll still come away with a ton of value regardless. So if you're interested in that, link in the description to book a call. Guys, it's been a pleasure, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.